Okay, folks, welcome back for another episode of Evident Bounty. Today, I have found a really good video from Naman Ali Khan. It is really powerful and simplistic. It's about understanding free will in its most simplest way. What does Islam say about free will? If I choose to take a step, was that my choice? But what about the fact that God knows everything? So, did God make me do that thing? How does free will work in the Islamic sense? I was confused about this for many years myself, but I found this video that I hope will clarify it for everyone watching the way it was clarified for me. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Behind me is the power of Allah. Allah did this, not me, so blame Allah. That's His. So this idea, and therefore, because everything happens by the will of Allah, we should blame Allah for everything bad that happens. Now, to understand this problem, and first I wanted to make sure you understand the problem. Now, how do we understand the solution? What Allah has done is separated those two things. Allah allowing something to happen is not the same as Allah desiring something to happen. Allah allows many things to happen in this world that make Allah angry. Allah, in fact, gets angry in the Quran. If everything happened the way Allah wants it to happen, or the way Allah desires, by the pleasure of Allah, everything happened by the rida of Allah, then Allah should never be upset about anything, because He's the one who did all of it. But when Allah says, غَضِبَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ, Allah got angry at them. What did the Mufassirun describe here? There's a difference between the rida of Allah, the pleasure of Allah, Allah doing something willingly, or rather not willingly, out of His desire to do something, out of His will, but rather more, He allowed it to happen. He, in His wisdom, decided, I will allow certain things to happen, even though He Himself is not pleased with those things. He gave human beings that freedom to do things that are displeasing to Him. He gave them that freedom. And the first time Allah did this, when He created the human beings, even the angels were confused. Why are you giving the human beings this power to do things that you don't like? Ya Allah, you don't like these things, but you're letting them do these things. How come you're letting them do them? أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاء? They couldn't understand it. And Allah Azza wa Jalla said these human beings are created for a much more complex and powerful purpose that even the angels were not yet ready to understand. إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. I know something you don't know. That's what He told the angels. Now, Allah has given me the freedom to displease Him. Forget talking about anybody else. I'm not here to talk about Fir'aun or Shaitan, or I'm here to talk about myself. And every one of us should be thinking about themselves. Allah has given me the ability to disobey Him. Allah has given me the freedom to upset Him, the freedom to make Him angry, the freedom to backbite, the freedom to slander, the freedom to eat haram, the freedom to attack someone else, to hurt someone else, to steal. He's given me that freedom. He's given me the reign to do it. So before I complain about how come this one got away with it and that one got away with it, how come the zalim gets away with it, before we say that, I have to ask myself, what do I get away with? What do I get away with? Somebody came to me not too long ago because of what's happening in the world, and we all know what's happening in Gaza. May Allah Azza wa Jal help the believers in Gaza, and grant the shuhada Jannah, and grant their families sabr, and give us an ounce of that kind of tawakkul and iman that those people have demonstrated, and give them nusra. But somebody came and asked, how come Allah is letting that happen? How come Allah doesn't just stop it? Because it's a fitna from Allah. It's a fitna from Allah. How come Allah doesn't just stop it? So the question then becomes, let's think about this reasonably. If you want Allah to stop it, if you want Allah to intervene, should Allah not intervene every time you and I disobey Allah? Where do you draw the line? No, if they're killing people, then Allah should stop. But if they're stealing, that's not so bad. It's okay. Allah doesn't have to intervene yet. Or if you're lying about something, then no. Don't make force your tongue to say the true thing. No, not that much control. But after some limits, Allah should just stop things. Allah put human beings on this earth, and He allowed them to be a fitna for each other. Allah allowed them to be a fitna for each other. And when we take the fitna that we put each other in, human beings put each other in fitna, and then we say, no, this is Allah's fault. Allah's the one who did this, not the people. That is what's called when you put yourself in fitna. The third one. It is from Allah only in that Allah allowed you to be tested. Allah created a situation and allowed you to be tested to see how I'm going to do, how you're going to do. That's it.
Wow. I think this guy is just amazing. It's so simple, but so well referenced as well in the Quran. I know these verses, where the angels are speaking to God and they're seeing God create Adam, and the amount of freedom that God is giving Adam, and the angels are saying that this is, why are you doing this? Why are you creating this creature with all of this power and ability? And God says, literally, I know what you don't know. And I think what God is referencing is the fact that He will give us free will, but there will be people who will fight to control their desires, live according to the rules that God has stated. And you know what? Honestly, when you start living to the rules of Islam, your whole life becomes so much easier. All the stupid things I used to worry about before suddenly just have completely vanished. All those bad habits I used to have before have completely gone, and they've been replaced by good habits. And what you feel so much better for, being on those good habits, and everything is aligned because of Islam. It's really that simple. So I hope that was a useful video. I certainly found it useful, and yeah, stay tuned for the next one.